Shadow Coast here, and welcome to Rage 2. In this video, we're going to give a quick review and outline some of the core mechanics of the game, as well as my general impressions. Off the bat, I think this is a fantastic game. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and to be honest, I was a little surprised. It mixes this open world exploration with decent FPS, as well as allowing you to upgrade yourself to become an absolute monster. So let's run through a few key features of the game. First off, there is vehicle combat. The Phoenix is your main vehicle. You can actually upgrade the Phoenix to contain multiple weapons. The last weapon here is a mortar down here, which I have not unlocked. You have your Gatling gun, your 20mm cannon, and cruise missiles. All of these are very useful if you take on convoys. Effectively, you have to disable convoys, steal their trucks, and return them for additional vehicle upgrades and money, which is awesome. Here, we can unlock various vehicles as you roll through your Rage 2 journey. To unlock some of these vehicles, you do have to take on certain bosses throughout the game. So, for example, to unlock the Armadillo, we took on a giant worm, which was a real pain in the butt to defeat. But once we did, we unlocked the Armadillo, which, quite frankly, isn't actually that good in my opinion. You can also unlock different vehicles by stealing them and returning them to one of the several main key points here. There are several key stations throughout the map, trade towns, etc. You start your journey in Vineland. Unfortunately, Vineland is attacked by the evil authority, which effectively kills everyone we know and love. So the main story arc is a journey of revenge, but we learn a lot about ourselves along the way. Few other items to note in the game. It actually has a pretty decent mechanic on crafting different items. They're really core items that you can craft that you can see here. Wing stick is a cool, awesome ability. Basically, you can throw it like a boomerang to kill enemies. Grenades, self-explanatory. Health infusions to heal. Overdrive infusions to help increase your ultimate bar. Effectively, you generate, I'm assuming, what we could call rage until you max out, and then you can enter into overdrive, which is effectively your ultimate, which I'll talk about in a minute. Ability infusion um, helps stimulate your nanotrite, abilities, of which we have several, which we'll review. And then you can also drop your trusty turret drone to cover your back and take out enemies and distract them. So like I said, in this game, it has a nice mix of FPS, but it also builds on this idea of nanotrites. Effectively, we become a superhuman by working with our nanotrites. You can see here you have a myriad of abilities that you can unlock through the game by revealing arcs. Arcs are scattered around the map, which you can see here, and are a key component of the game. Effectively, you unlock all of these abilities as you progress through the game, and I do recommend that you grab them. Not only do you unlock them, you can also upgrade them by using a combination of Felrite, which is the core piece that's going to upgrade not only your nanotrite abilities, but also your weapons. So that is a critical resource that you collect through your journey. Um, as you go along. So you use that to upgrade, and then you have specific things you can unlock by using nanotrite boosters. Suffice to say, this game has a lot more depth than I initially expected when I first started. There is a lot to it. You're going to want to upgrade, not only reveal all the nanotrite abilities, but you're also going to want to upgrade them based on your playstyle. You can see here, I definitely spent a lot of resources on upgrading Constitution to make me an absolute tank, which was extremely useful for those pesky boss fights. I mentioned the weapons. These weapons are also unlocked through arcs. So you're going to want to make sure you grab all of them. You do start with your pistol and assault rifle, and then you will progressively grab all the weapons as you go throughout your journey. One complaint about the game, I will say, is that the arcs are spread across the map, so you do have to do some searching along your way. Weapons are varied. You can also upgrade them using a combination of Feltrite, like I mentioned, but also weapon core mods to unlock extended magazine capacities, your ability to lock on quicker, etc. So there's a fair amount of depth and customization to the game, which I like. Furthermore, once you unlock each of the factions, you will have to run a few core missions for them. You will be able to take on these things called projects. You use these to you gain project points as you progress through your journey, as well as by completing different missions that are not only optional but also core to the story. Projects give you upgrades. One thing I will say off the bat, which I did at the end, on my projects was Dr. Cavassier here. I did not really go to him until the very end. If I were to redo my journey, once I get a high enough level, I would head to him and unlock this tree first because it's all about making it easier to gain more resources as well as track down resources such as cases that unlock nanotrait boosters, weapon mods, and other items. Furthermore, to build upon all this, you can further customize your character and upgrade it further by going to the cyber dock. So we're getting a little bit of cyberpunk in here, and through using mutant parts in conjunction with other mechanical components, you can upgrade different pieces such as your health, so increasing your health bar. You can extend your overdrive, which is your ultimate ability, as well as increase your weapon damage. And the CyberDock lets you reset your nanotraits. So if you decide that you made a mistake and you want to respec yourself, you can always do that. Now, I talked about overdrive here for a few seconds. The cool thing about overdrive is when you hit overdrive, depending on what weapon you have, your overdrive ability and use of that weapon will slightly change. So it can be absolutely devastating, especially depending on the weapon you're using and the enemy you're fighting. So I really like that combination. All right, so overall impressions of the game, open world. There is a little bit of farming and upgrading you have to do, but I did not find it to be that tedious. I actually really enjoyed it, and a lot of these things have, while very similar, very different looks and feels depending on the region you're going to and the enemies you are fighting. There are a few core enemies. There's a goon squad, so those are the crazy people you see driving around in convoys. Which are sorry, not that big of a deal. Fairly straightforward. You actually have the oh my goodness, I'm blanking on their name. Uh, they like live forever. The Authority is the main enemy, which you are introduced to at the very beginning of the game, and we also have these. Where are they? The Shrouded, which is another faction which tends to be heavily armored and fairly difficult to defeat. So, like I said, I would recommend this game. To be honest, I decided not to get it because it had some mixed reviews when it first came out. But having played it, I definitely regret having waited for a sale. Although it was fantastic, beat a lot of time. You can also get different vehicles as you progress, including the Icarus, which allows you to get from point A to point B a lot faster. One other comment that I think I made on here, for these vehicles, if you do steal them and return them to core locations, so these trade towns, you then permanently unlock them and can summon them wherever you may go. There's a lot of other things to do in Rage 2. So, for example, you can go to MBTV and farm out cool looking not weapon mods, but weapon skins and other things by taking on mutants that's aired on the TV. Mutants are, I guess, technically another faction that are spread throughout that you can defeat and build rep with certain factions if you kill them. So MVTV's nice little side hustle where you can build up resources there. If you're into racing, the car combat is actually pretty decent. You can go to Chazcar Derby if you want to do some straight racing to build reputation and earn a little more money, which is fantastic. Talking about currency real quick, there are a few different currencies that are critical to the game. So there is money which you can use to buy pretty much everything from ammo to upgrades. Or upgrade components that you need, as well as grenades. Beltrite is critical in upgrading your nanotrite abilities and weapon. Then you have arc or nanotrite boosters, which you use. You have weapon core mods, which you use. Then you have life glands and a few other pieces that are used for those augmentations that the Cyberdock has. Combat is varied, enemies are varied, the landscapes are actually also varied, and then as you journey through and around Rage 2, they also have some sleek, interesting side vendors that I do recommend. There's one guy that flies around in a balloon. I did try to find him before shooting this video, but I could not. But if you encounter him, you can unlock different things, such as different voiceovers, also other cool items such as an increase to collecting Feltrite for a period of time, and a bunch of other cool stuff. I recommend this game. I hope you found this video helpful. As always, appreciate a subscribe and a thumbs up, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Also curious to see what other games everyone else is playing during this time of COVID-19 and staying indoors and social isolating. And hopefully we'll see you in another video. Thanks so much for spending a little time with us today, and hopefully you'll check out Rage 2. We're going to jump into some combat just to show you some of the nanotrite moves and just how much fun this game is. Definitely makes you feel like an unbeatable god. So let's get into it. So there are a few critical moves. So you can grab Vortex, which is great because it sucks them together. You also have a Shatter. You can do Grab Stomp, which is great at launching people. Again, you're going to want to collect Feltrite as you go. You have a nice variety of weapons, so let's go with Pulse Cannon. Alright, so with the Pulse Cannon, we want to stay in the upgraded red area. Let's check out the Grab Dart Launcher. Now, if we hold down our kind of search ability, we can see them. So if you shoot them and then you click an area, and it kind of sucks them over to it, which is pretty cool. There are cases. Let me see. What have I not done yet? So we can throw up a little wall. That helps. And we're gonna. I like this gun. You can light them on fire by, cooking. Now, depending on your ultimate, well, we just ultimated the pistol, which isn't that interesting. You can do some interesting stuff. Now, there are cases and stuff and resources you're going to want to build up to build grenades, other items, as well as upgrade yourself to become an absolute monster. I mentioned the doctor had certain upgrades that let you see stuff. So one of the upgrades we get here is being able to see in the top. We can see that we are close to a storage container, and then when we use our nanotrite ability, we can kind of search around to see what we can see. It says there's a storage container below us, and now we can see it. Grab, jump down just to help get us here a little quicker. And sometimes, these guys are a little bit obscured. Right there, not that obscured. So hopefully that gave you just a quick sense of some of the combat. It's actually really fun, and I found myself spending hours just clearing out campsites, not because I needed to, just because I wanted to test out different weapons, try different things, and see how it works. Hopefully you found this helpful, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode. Shadow Coast out.